All right, let's dive into someone pretty fascinating today. We often see the flashy side of Guy Fieri, right? The mayor of Flavortown. But beneath all that, there's this, well, $100 million empire. And get this, built without a traditional culinary degree.
Yeah, it's quite the story.
It really is. His journey, I mean, from selling pretzels when he was just 10 years old to becoming the highest paid chef on TV. It's not just about food, is it?
No, not at all. It's really a masterclass in branding, definitely hustle, and I think this kind of deep emotional connection he builds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to kind of decode the mindset behind that legendary wealth. We want to look at how maybe turning these small, almost emotional moments into massive, lasting influence, how that could be a blueprint for, your own success.
Right.
You probably know him for the spiked blonde hair, maybe the flame shirts.
Yeah.
But what if his journey holds one of the most overlooked truths about, real long-term success?
It's a fantastic example, really, of how an unconventional path driven by this very early financial sense can lead to just extraordinary places. His journey started incredibly young, shaping that core belief about money being a tool.
It's kind of mind-blowing. He was just 10. So what was it about that first venture? Building his own awesome pretzel cart back in Humboldt County selling snacks. What about that do you think really set the stage? Financially, I mean.
Well, that's exactly where the vision started, It wasn't just a kid selling pretzels. By the time he was 14, he'd saved, wait for it, $10,000. 14, purely from that hustle. And crucially, it wasn't like inherited money or anything. He earned every dime.
Right.
And then what does he do? He reinvests it, uses that capital to fund a student exchange trip to France. And that's where he kind of unexpectedly bumps into European cuisine.
Yeah.
So what this shows so powerfully, I think, is that Fieri saw money as a tool for access.
Right.
Access to knowledge, culture, possibility. He even said something like, that cart wasn't just a business. It was my ticket out. It basically taught him to be a creator, using his hands, his instincts for flavor, which were obviously budding, and just his personality, using those as assets. He wasn't, waiting around for things to happen. He was generating the capital to make them happen.
So from that, foundational hustle, he then builds this really solid professional base. And what's often missed, I think, is that before TV, he focused on the operations side. He got a hospitality management degree from UNLV, not culinary arts. How did that set him apart? Because the food world often seems focused on, the fancy cooking.
That's exactly it. It set him apart by design. He deliberately worked his way up in restaurant chains, became a district manager overseeing, 6 to 8 Louise's Trattoria spots by age 22.
22, that's young for that level of responsibility.
Very young. And it gave him invaluable real-world experience in systems, leading teams, and that critical P&L profit and loss discipline, something a lot of chefs, even really famous ones, might not have.
Okay.
His first ventures, like Johnny Garlic's in '96, and then Texosabi's that bold BBQ and sushi fusion place.
Right, I remember hearing about that combo.
Yeah. They weren't just passion projects. They were built to be scalable businesses from the get-go. He expanded through franchising, brand licensing, building this very deliberate, systematic framework for growth.
Okay, so he laid all this groundwork, very strategic. Then what was the pivot point, the thing that really blasted him into the national spotlight? Was it just luck? Or was there a strategy even there?
Oh, it definitely wasn't just luck. In 2006, he wins the next Food Network star. Sent in a self-recorded audition tape.
He made it himself?
Yep. His first show was Guy's Big Bite, which did okay. But Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Triple D, launched in April 2007. That just exploded his reach.
That show was everywhere still.
Absolutely. Over 500 episodes filmed cemented his reputation globally. And the culmination, the proof of this strategic build, really, are those contracts. 2021, he signs an $80 million 3-year deal with Food Network.
$80 million.
Then, late 2023, renewed for reportedly over $100 million, making him the highest paid person in food TV. More than Gordon Ramsay, even.
Wow.
So his strategy was, brilliant, really. Build credibility in the trenches first. Launch with this authentic vibe that people just connected with. Then scale that authenticity using robust systems. Media essentially became his main distribution channel.
But okay, let's be real. You can't talk Guy Fieri without the look, right? The bleached, spiky hair, the flame shirts, those backwards sunglasses. Welcome to Flavortown. It's iconic.
Yeah.
Some people might just say, look, that's the gimmick. That's the secret sauce. How do you square that flamboyance with this idea of, deep discipline and emotional connections.
That's a really crucial point because, yeah, it's flamboyant, but that persona was, I'd argue, meticulously engineered, made to be memorable.
Engineered, okay.
But the truth underneath is the discipline. Fieri's known for obsessive discipline, shows up early, preps deeply, insists on being hands-on with his businesses, tracks margins like a hawk, negotiates contracts shrewdly, and he really studies emotional connection.
How so?
Well, like on diners, drive-ins, and dives, apparently he visits the places before filming, eats with the owners off camera, learns their backstories.
Well, interesting.
So when you see him react on screen, it has this genuine warmth, this real connection. It makes you wonder, right, is authenticity just being yourself, or is it being yourself on purpose with intent?
It's a good distinction.
Fieri believes, and he said it, people remember how you made them feel, not just what you made them eat. And that clearly drives him. He's always celebrating others, lifting up regional culture, building trust. He turned that unique persona into a bankable commitment, essentially.
His path really was different. Deliberately skipping traditional culinary school, the fine dining route.
Yeah.
Choosing hospitality management, restaurant ops instead. What was the strategic thinking there? It feels kind of counterintuitive for the biggest food guy on TV now.
It was deeply strategic, I think, not an accident. He understood that knowing how to run a kitchen is valuable, sure, but mastering the business side, customer experience, vendor deals, how to scale things, that was transformative. He said in an interview back in 2022, I think, something like, I never wanted to be the chef locked in the back. I wanted to be in the front, shaking hands, building the vibe.
Okay, so connecting with people.
Exactly. And his approach to media was the same. He auditioned for the next Food Network star as a storyteller. He focused on narratives, the local legends, the family diners, the road trip finds, not just technical cooking skills.
Which made it accessible.
Totally. Food media for the masses. And remember when his big Times Square restaurant got that scathing review back in 2012?
Oh, yeah, that was rough.
He didn't get super defensive and fight back publicly. He learned from it, recalibrated, and kind of pivoted more towards the profitable licensing and TV stuff. He avoided that prestige trap,
Smart move.
It really underscores his core belief. Success is about conversion, turning attention into trust and then trust into impact. Not just about having the right credentials on paper. He studied how systems worked, saw the rules, and then built his own game.
And Flavortown itself, it's more than just a nickname now, isn't it? It's like cultural shorthand, a symbol of belonging. How did he engineer that into this huge, scalable ecosystem? From just a TV show catchphrase to, well, an empire.
It's pretty amazing to see the sheer economic power. Diners, drive-ins, and dives over 530 episodes now, 51 seasons.
51 seasons.
Yeah. It created what people call the Fieri effect. Featured restaurants often saw sales jump 200, 300%. That's huge economic impact, way beyond just TV ratings.
Now.
But his reach, it goes way beyond TV now. You've got the Flavortown Kitchen, Ghost Kitchens, launched in 2021, aiming for over 175 cities by mid-2025.
Explain Ghost Kitchens quickly.
Sure, they're basically virtual restaurants. They operate out of existing commercial kitchens, could be another restaurant's kitchen or a dedicated facility, but they don't have a physical storefront. Delivery only, usually.
Got it. Clever model.
Very. Then there are his product lines, sauces, rubs, his Santo Tequila with Sammy Hagar, deals with Carnival Cruise Line. He's even curating these big national food festivals like the Flavortown Tailgate at the Super Bowl. Drew over 20,000 people.
20,000 for a tailgate.
Yep. So his influence, it's built on being relatable, being inclusive, not on being some authority figure or exclusive club. He really made, you could say, middle America feel seen and celebrated.
Yeah, that resonates.
And it proves that this kind of social influence, it's way more durable than just being trendy. He redefined power as this shared experience. He built Flavortown as a place, maybe more a mindset, where anyone could feel like they belong.
And then the ultimate test, the crisis.
Yeah.
COVID-19 hits. His response was, well, really telling? He mobilized almost right away, co-founding the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund. That was a huge deal for the industry then.
It really was. And it was such a clear demonstration of leadership under pressure. It showed all that emotional capital he'd built up over the years. By mid-2021, that fund had given out over $23 million.
$23 million.
To more than 43,000 frontline restaurant workers. And what's interesting is during this period when lots of businesses were pulling back, Fieri actually diversified. He launched Flavortown Kitchen, leveraging those existing kitchens. He expanded his high-margin consumer product.
Leaning into what worked.
Exactly. And he leaned into experiential media, too. Became this fixture at big national events like the Super Bowl. actively turning his fan base into foot traffic, into this cultural movement. His visibility during the pandemic, it felt like it was driven by genuine service, not just self-promotion.
Right, helping the industry's backbone.
Precisely. And that emotional alignment, it surged consumer trust, made his new ventures almost instant hits. It really cemented his long-term mindset. In a crisis, you protect your people, your community, not just your image. His whole empire seems built on betting on relationships, scaling empathy, and turning tough times into, well, lasting trust.
So it's really clear then, Guy Fieri's $100 million empire. It isn't just smart deals or restaurants, is it? It's the result of this much deeper, long-term emotional strategy, turning everyday moments into lasting connection. It's kind of powerful proof that prestige or credentials or even being perfect, they aren't the only ways to build power, create value, or earn trust.
Which brings us to this idea, maybe we can call it the emotional brand loop, where personal experience turns into a public story, a narrative. And that narrative fuels a sense of community identity. Fieri doesn't really impose a brand on people. He kind of invites them into one.
Like Flavortown.
Exactly. He used flavor not just to impress people, but to unite them, creating Flavortown as this shared emotional place. And it raises a big question, I think, for all of us listening. Wealth built just on utility, on function, that can fade, right? But wealth built on meaning, on this kind of emotional equity that seems to multiply. So you have to ask yourself, are you building just for visibility, or are you building for emotional gravity? Because in the long game,
that's what decides if it lasts.
That's what decides if your success lasts or just vanishes.
That's a powerful thought to end on. We'd love to hear from you which part of Guy Fieri's story really hit home for you. What does your version of Flavortown look like in what you're building? And, if you got value from this deep dive today, please share it with someone else who might get something out of these insights.